The Chicago Public School Board wants to build a new high school for Chicago SouthSiders. Hello, I am Gabby with Nex-Gen Real Estate and Property Management Company, serving Chicagoland in all things real estate. The aim of this channel is to keep you informed of news, developments, and current events affecting Chicago's real estate market and investment opportunities. Below you can find other resources that I am working on this year, which I am so excited about, such as my new book, Landlording Your Way to Financial Freedom, as well as my crash course called Guide to Perfect Tenants. Today, I will discuss one of the most controversial developments in the South Side, the $120 million new high school to be built on the vacant lot at 24th and South State Street. This school shall serve immigrants well with bilingual programs. So let's get down to business. Why is the CPS planning a new high school in Chinatown? Community leaders, residents, and organizers have for a very long time pushed for a new high school specifically to serve Armour Square, Bridgeport, Bronzeville, Chinatown, and South Loop. It promises many advantages for the residents of those areas. A. More options. There are no high schools immediately west of Bronzeville to serve the growing near South Side. The proposed building of a new high school opens more room for options for students in these communities. B. Address the growing population's needs. While several South Side Chicago neighborhoods have lost residents, Chinatown, Bridgeport, the South Loop, and surrounding communities have grown to at least double their size in the past 20 years. The new high school will help accommodate the growing population, but these new high school plans face a lot of challenges from the community itself. Opposition to the proposed development. Local activists, including Kenwood Oakland Community Organization, KOCO, Luhania Burns Hope Center, and Raise Your Hand Illinois, demand the city move the school elsewhere or not push through it at all. The proposal is incomplete. First, the Civic Federation opposes the $9.5 billion proposed budget for Chicago Public Schools for fiscal year of 2023. Because the district hasn't given enough justification for raising its property tax by $140 million to the maximum 5% permitted under the PTELL at a time when taxpayers are already under significant financial strains and when CPS has other options. The new high school is included in the CPS proposed budget. B. Now, the community was left out of the planning process. The lack of consideration towards the community has brought up further issues. Some locals worry that with the building of a new high school, where will the school get students and teachers? Among the community's complaints in the shuffling of CPS board memberships made by Mayor Lightfoot, the mayor appointed Michelle Scott Jr. to replace Dwayne Truss. Truss is a West Side activist who spent many years fighting against closing schools and the opening of charter schools. A former Chicago Board of Educational member, Dwayne Truss, said he is not necessarily against a new high school but is disappointed in the lack of community engagement. He was disappointed the meeting of the CPS board with public housing leaders was never set up. He also said, and so it is like, what is the big secret? Why was there a barrier to having this conversation? I will say that was a big factor in destroying trust. And if you are going to destroy trust with board members, how are you going to have trust with the public? Near South Side Chicagoans are opposing plans to build a $120 million high school and gain key allies in their quest to squash that project to keep a public housing development within its original framework. These allies include Alderman Byron Sigcho Lopez of the 25th Ward, People Matter co-founder Angela Lin, and State Representative Theresa Ma, who proposed that she would ask Governor J.B. Pritzker to not release the $50 million in state funding for this project. The high school will be on Chicago's Housing Authority land where the public housing once stood. CHA residents complained that the site chosen by the CPS was earmarked for affordable apartments. It is within the South Bridge development, in which so far there are 206 affordable housing units completed. With the high rate of homelessness in the city of Chicago, most of the community urges the government to prioritize affordable housing, especially since 120,000 people are on the CHA waiting list. Even community residents that are in favor of a new high school wanted to be on a different site. Grace Chan McKibben, Executive Director of the Coalition for a Better Chinese American Community, believes the 78th would be a much better location. The 78th would be accessible to students in these nearby communities. This will be a school for everyone, and the location would reflect that, she said. New schools would lead to enrollment losses at nearby campuses. There are 3 public high schools between the South Loop and Bronzeville: Selective Enrollment School, Jones College Prep, Dunbar Vocational, and Wendell Phillips Academy, the latter of which has improved its academic standing despite being underfunded. A confidential memo by CPS top officials also revealed that their preliminary analysis showed a new school would accelerate the enrollment declines in several nearby schools, causing the schools to be constrained financially and academically in providing an equitable learning experiences to all students. In fact, the data research firm DataMate stated that student population of Chicago public schools continues to drop below 300,000 elementary and high school students. That's the lowest predicted enrollment based on the current number of students by grade level and birth rate data. In 2021, CPS enrolled 314,500 students plus 15,000 preschoolers, down from 378,000 students a decade ago. Worse, the K-12 enrollment could be as low as 262,000 by 2025. The CPS budget cuts. Another hurdle in the planned Southside High School is the cut budget of the Chicago public schools. In the last fiscal year, they lost almost $30 million in expected state money. The Illinois Board of Education revealed that the CPS dropped into the second tier of financial need. This was because the CPS declining enrollment of students from low-income backgrounds. The CPS was not happy about this downgrade because they expected to receive an additional $50 million in tier funding by fiscal year 2023. According to CPS spokesman Mary Fergus, this allocation cut burdens public school system more when they need to cater to more needs in post-pandemic new normal. This worsens the underfunded crisis of the CPS, even as the state acknowledges that the system needs another $436 million to be fully funded. And to think that this is another hit in the already financially lost system. Did you know that right now CPS is paying back $87.5 million it accidentally received in state funding in years past, plus losing $45 million because of the correction to the state formula? This is a really alarming situation. Still, amidst all these opposition, the CPS is set towards the proposed high school. The Chicago Housing Authority Board unanimously approved the proposal to grant the district a lease for up to 99 years for 1.7 acres of land. And in a close vote of 4-3, the Chicago Board of Education approved plans to begin construction and buying land at 23rd Street and Wabash Avenue for $10.3 million and swapping the land with the Chicago Housing Authority. The CPS's plans to build a new high school for the booming South Side communities are lofty, but there are a lot of concerns for them to address. They need to make sure that they listen to the needs of the community and which ones to prioritize. I know I shared a lot of information with you, but I still want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? What are your opinions? Are you part of that geographic location? I want to hear more. Thanks for watching. As always, where's your future?